Why is my daughter having tantrums at the moment? And that is a question I've asked myself quite a lot recently. So there's a few reasons as to why I think she's displaying big emotions, and those are kind of turning into tantrums recently, and I'm going to run through a few of them just really in the hope that one of you is experiencing a similar thing and has some advice, or, you know, I also just want to be real and show that it's not always smiles and laughter. There are lots of big feelings and lots of tantrums as well. So we're going to do some playing in her room, and then we're going to head down for breakfast, which is where we always have our first frustration, which is feeding fury. So I'll see you in a sec for that. So the first one I like to call feeding fury. Juno isn't a great eater, are you, baby? I mean, she's doing pretty well today, but a lot of the time we see a lot of frustration around food. I'd say breakfast is probably the meal that she struggles with the least, but still we can quite often get a lot of hand flapping, trying to climb out of her chair, just kind of, you know, frustration. She also used to feed herself really well, and now we've kind of had like a bit of a feeding regression where she wants to be fed by us, but I try and give her a spoon as much as possible so that she knows like she can do it if she wants to. But I do totally understand why feeding might seem frustrating, like it's something that you just have to do and you have to do it every time, and she wants to just kind of get up, play. She's very busy at the moment, she wants to be on the move constantly, so I do totally understand why that might upset her, but at the same time, you know, she has to eat. She has to learn that there's a time of day that she has to eat. So this is a little bit of the behaviour that we get. So you're getting a little bit stressed out, darling. Look, we're nearly finished. You can hold your spoon, Mummy can feed you with the other one. There we go, good girl. We find that giving her a lot of praise while she's eating does really help, because not only does she get frustrated with eating, but she's just in general not that interested in food or trying new foods. So like every parent, I don't have the answers for everything, and I'm definitely still trying to figure this one out. I don't know what is the right thing to do when she's refusing to eat. Do I just be like, fine, let's not have dinner then, or let's not have lunch? Like, that's cool. We can come back to it another time. And, you know, it's hard, and there isn't a manual on how to do this. Like, I'm trying my best, and sometimes it just feels like that's not good enough, right? And I feel like she picks up on my worry and my guilt, and it makes her upset as well, and that just kind of escalates it, and next thing you know, we're all crying in the kitchen over breakfast, and we don't need that, do we? You finished? Finished? All done? I feel like the main cause of Juno's tantrums and expressing of her feelings is frustration. She gets frustrated when she can't do things. She gets frustrated when she has to go back in the pram. It's obviously totally understandable that she's getting frustrated because she can't do things on her own, or because things are coming to an end. That's, you know, that's life, and she needs to learn to deal with those things. But what I'm struggling with is how I help her deal with those things. I suppose it's just difficult because she doesn't understand why things have to change, and that's when the frustration comes out. So I guess I just need to kind of talk her through why things are changing, and eventually she will sort of understand, and it will become a routine, and yeah. But I just want Juno to understand her feelings and be aware of them and be able to sort of label them eventually and know why she feels a certain way. So I guess what I need to do more of, which I do, is kind of talk her through the feeling that she's experiencing and acknowledging it and telling her that it's okay to feel that way. A lot of frustration in this house at the moment, guys. But we keep on moving. So another thing that I definitely think contributes to her big feelings and tantrums is separation anxiety, which is a really tricky one to deal with because babies go through this sort of on and off at lots of different periods of their life. And now it's a lot better and it has been really good. But I think since she's been dealing with like bigger feelings and emotions, when we leave her, sometimes she gets really upset and she sort of like hugs our legs and like cries a lot. She just wants to be with us, so she kind of stays with me, and then I'll bring her back in, we'll play a little bit more, and I'll try and leave her again, and the same thing happens again. And it's just kind of trying to deal with that at the same time as being aware of how she feels and how it's making her feel, but also reassuring her that she is safe and it is okay and we are just around the corner. So that's a tricky one to deal with. It is hard. She is comfortable with a few people, but she's definitely not that comfortable with loads of people. She's not one of those babies that will just be left anywhere. She has to know the person. She has a good relationship with them. And even, yeah, like I said, being in the house and being here, just the three of us, even then when she's on her own, sometimes she still gets really upset and sort of experiences some really big feelings. So it's hard to know how to deal with those big feelings at points like that because I am just around the corner, and it's hard not to get frustrated myself and be like, look, I am still here, I am still here. Yeah, it's really difficult. So if you've got any tips, please let me know. So that's kind of what we're dealing with at the moment. Some sort of tantrum behaviours and definitely some big feelings from Juno. If you've got any tips on how to deal with these big feelings, if you follow anyone, if you read any books, please let me know in the comments down below, because I would love to educate myself and just try and figure out the best way to sort of help her navigate through these feelings that she doesn't completely understand yet. So that's it from this week. I hope you've enjoyed this video and we'll see you next week. Lots of love. Bye.